Hey there, you're watching Amitha Verma. So the other day, my brother asked me to review his floor plans and then tell him my thoughts. It's a small, kind of looks like a little cottage sort of a house, and he is doing a big renovation to this house to update it. So I wanted to share with you the top 5 principles and guidelines that I followed while I was helping my brother decide what are the spaces and the must-haves he had to include in his upcoming home renovation. So the first, probably most important area that I spend a lot of time and energy on is the kitchen and the living room layout. So their current floor plan is very closed off, and there's actually a couple of different seating areas, and the home feels very disconnected. So in this particular instance, I recommended they remove the wall between their kitchen and have the kitchen open up to the living room. I know this is a huge question that people ask all the time. Should I take down all the walls, or none of the walls, or some of the walls? So my tip to answering that question is I ask myself, which spaces do I want to keep connected? So this helped me answer, I want the living room and kitchen to be sort of one unit so the family can be in the kitchen and overflow into the living room. Some of the things I looked at were a centralized island. This is one of the hallmarks of any kitchen I design. 4 feet of circulation. This is actually a big question that my brother and his wife wanted to know. Is 3 feet enough? I actually recommend a minimum of 4 feet so at least 2 people can do a cooking project together. Another very important quality I recommended to my brother was to let lots of light into this home. It is an older home, and so we want to really energize it and inspire it. And so one of my suggestions was to actually remove some of the cabinets that they had initially wanted in their floor plan to allow for more windows to flood through the kitchen and the family room. And on the note of the kitchen and the family room, one of my brother's questions was, how big should the room be? The answer to that question, how I helped him, was to lay in some furniture so he could make sure there was enough comfortable, cozy seating for him, his wife, their 4 kids, their pet Labrador, and even for some of our family when we come over and visit. Another very critical point that I like to review is the dining room. Oftentimes I get asked, should we just get rid of the dining room? This is the room that I actually keep in all of my design projects, and it's based on that value of connection. Just like in the living room where we want to create seating arrangements where people can be connected and feel connected, the dining room serves the perfect backdrop for that. I have some of my fondest memories in my parents' house and in my own home right here at our dining table. When my brother initially showed me his floor plan, he had this great span of glass wall and a door, and you would open it up right into the kitchen about 3 feet away from the island. And immediately I knew this would be one of their biggest regrets after building this house, because as soon as you come in, all the backpacks, purses, and shopping bags would be dropped right there into the middle of the kitchen. I looked at the floor plan and moved a few things around and suggested to my brother, you have to think of the back of the house, and it's probably the most important hub of the house. So this is where I made recommendations like a drop zone or a backpack zone, a place to put shoes away, to hang up coats, all of those sorts of things that can be dropped in a certain area before you transition into the main part of the home. As I was looking at their floor plan, they had the pantry shoved up into a corner. And considering that's the main visual point of the house, that just did not sit well with me. I was able to relocate a few things and move the pantry to an area where they could get a beautiful, well-appointed walk-in pantry. If you can, this is a great addition to any home. I did it in my home by taking over space into what was formerly our garage, and I absolutely love it and recommend it to anyone. Last but not least, if you can, one of my favorite things to include in a renovation is a passion room. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but we all have our passions. So I recommend it to my brother, and I've even done this in my own home, is create a room where we can all pursue our passions. In my particular home, that's crafting and photography and creating. And in my brother's home, we carved out a room where they can create something around their passions. You don't have to necessarily create a whole new room. This could be a repurposed bedroom that you're no longer using. But in our homes, we want to be ourselves and have it be an authentic representation of ourselves. So there you have it. Those are the 5 areas that I look to add or include on any home build or renovation project that I'm working on. So what about you? What's a room or area that you wished you had included or had in your home? Leave a comment and let me know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, be sure to give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to our channel. When you're done with that, head over to my blog where I share tons of design projects and tips that you can use right away. Till the next time we meet, keep making your home amazing with your design gifts.
I have to remember the rest.